here, and I am very, very excited because today is the opening day of Jam It Up June, which is just what it sounds like. The month of June will be all jam recipes for canning. 30 days of wonderful canners sharing their favorite jam recipes with a bonus recipe from the host who put this collaboration together, Tony from Kettle Kitchen with Tony. I think you're going to be so happy with the phenomenal lineup that's coming. A couple of words, it is only approved recipes, which is so important to me. I've said before, I will only do approved canning recipes. That's how I fly. I can't do it any way else. For my peace of mind, taking care of my family, that's the route I travel. And I know Nonna would take the hot jam and put it in the jars, or her tomatoes in the jars, put the lids on, flip them upside down, and cover them with the special blanket blessed by the Pope. I can't do it. I just can't. I respect the science of canning too much to go that route, so I won't deviate. So you could have peace of mind, especially if you're a beginning canner, to know that all of these recipes are approved. By the way, do you see my shirt? It says, nevertheless, she preserved. I love it. I saw it, Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, and I'll share her channel in a link in the description box. Always check the description box. All the participants are going to be in there, so you're going to want to look in there. And when I saw her wearing it, I said, I have to get this shirt. I have 3 canning shirts now, and I love them. Anyway, my recipe is from the all-new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving. I love this book. As you can see, I have all my Post-its cut on the recipes I want, and I believe it's page 44. Yes, 44. Cantaloupe Jam. Sounds kind of weird, right? That's what I first thought when I tasted it for the very first time in a French restaurant that was here in my town. And the owner and chef of the restaurant made all her own bread, and she made this jam, and it was just so delicious. So when I got this book and I found it in there, I said, I'm making this jam. And even my daughter, who hates cantaloupe, she won't even eat, like when I made cantaloupe sherbet, she was like, yeah, that's not happening, Mom. She tasted it and was blown away by how good it was. In my opinion, this is the highlight of a charcuterie board. It just takes all the cheeses to another level. You can put it on top of brie, goat cheese. It helps cut the sharpness of like manchego. It's just beautiful. It's such a lovely jam. If you, especially with the summer coming, because we do it, the less you cook in your kitchen, the happier you are when it's 95 degrees. Have a nice crusty piece of bread, smear it with some ricotta cheese, put a slice of prosciutto, put a dollop of the cantaloupe jam on top, and drizzle it with hot honey. Holy macaroni. Your guests will kiss you, hug you, and never want to leave your house again. So it really is a wonderful jam. And it's no pectin. There's no pectin in the cantaloupe jam. But it does have to cook for an hour. And that could also vary because the liquid content of the melon is different for each one. So it called for 14 cups of 1-inch cubes of cantaloupe. Ball says 2 large melons, and you could use any orange flesh melon. I like the cantaloupe. I went with 2 large and a smaller, and I got 14 cups on the button. 4 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of lemon juice, bottled lemon juice. This is very important when you can. You can't grab fresh lemons and squeeze them because the acidity is different in all lemons. This is controlled. Unless the recipe specifies different, have bottled lemon juice in your canning arsenal to keep in your fridge, and it's 3/4 of a cup. One of the things you had to do was salt the melon. It called for 1/4 cup of kosher salt. Mix it really good and leave it alone for 2 hours. It is imperative that you rinse this melon well, or you're going to have a salty product, and you don't want that. So after the 2 hours, I put it into my colander, rinsed and rinsed and rinsed and rinsed, and mixed it and rinsed and rinsed, let it drain, and it's a very sublime salt. It's a pleasing taste versus, oh, what's going on here? So, oh, and I steam can. Jams are water bath or steam. I love steam canning. Let me turn you real quick. This is my steam canner. It's from Roots and Branches. I like steam canning because it's less water, which means less time for it to heat up. The difference is water bath, you have to be at least 1 inch over the jars. Also, it's the, I want to say it's the 1/2 pint jars for the recipe, but yes, Ball says 5 1/2 pint jars is what you'll get. But I also use the 1/4 inch jars because when I'm doing a charcuterie board, they're so cute, I just put them right out. So I do the different sizes. You have to process the 1/4 pint the same as the 1/2. So, and that's no big deal. So, and know your altitude. I am above 1,000. I'm like 1,300 and change. So it says process 15 minutes. I have to add 5 minutes to that. So for 20 minutes. Oh, and let me show you this. I love using this for my vinegar to clean my rims. I got this off of Amazon. It's a nail polish remover pump. You pump it, get that vinegar up there, wet your paper towel. Instead of lugging my gallon of white vinegar, got my little pump it jar. I'm all for making things easier. Okay, I'm gonna move everything to my stove and we'll get started. Let's go. Okay, so, like I said, it's 14 cups of the cantaloupe into your pot, and 4 cups of your sugar, and your 3/4 cups of a spoon of lemon juice, and you mix it together. And I want to get you over and put you down a little. Ooh, that lemon, you could smell that lemon juice. Get it all mixed together, and it's going to simmer for 20 minutes. And you're going to then mash it with a potato masher. So let me get this blended. I have found that my middle burner is my good canning burner. All right, we are mixed. Boy, it sure does. Once you add that sugar, oh boy, does that liquid come up. But you see that? It's really nice. The cantaloupe smells so nice. I love the I don't know that it's a floral scent, but cantaloupe just has such a beautiful aroma. It really does. Okay, so we're going to let this come up, and then I'll show you the next. I want to give you the exact instructions. It says, stir together melon, sugar, and lemon juice in a 6-quart stainless steel or enameled Dutch oven, which this is the Le Creuset. And you bring it to a boil, reduce the heat, stirring often for uncovered, and simmer for 20 minutes until it is soft. So let's get this going, get it up to a boil, and when it's boiling, I'll bring it back and show you the simmer. Alrighty, folks, be back in just a bit. Okay, this is boiling. It gets kind of foamy, but at the end you can skim off any foam. So once it's boiling, you're going to lower it to a simmer. And let's get that down to a simmer. Okay. There you go. And you're going to set your timer for 20 minutes. And then we're going to come back and play the mashed potato with this stuff. Alrighty, be back in a minute. Okay, 20 minutes is up. And so we take our potato masher and we mash up the cantaloupe. And, you know, it doesn't have to be absolutely precise. You just need to give it a bit of a mashing up. And it does have quite a bit of liquid. Do you hear my boy? That's my Yogi. When commercials come on that he doesn't approve of, he howls like a lunatic. Oh my gosh, you too much. Anyway, you give a good mashing, and I just want to quickly, that is a lot of liquid, and Ball says an hour, but because of the varying liquid amounts that are there, it may very well take longer, or it could be less time. But you're going to bring it up to a boil, and then it's going to simmer away, stirring often. I don't know if I mentioned that for the first 20 minutes that you want to stir. You don't want any burning. And I put a small plate in my freezer to test the gelling, and you can find it in the beginning of the ball book. If you put a dollop of the jam on a dish that was in the freezer and run your finger through it, it should hold the separation. The line drawn through it should take place. So alright, it kind of gets a little, I don't want to say stringy, but as you mash it, okay, I'm going to bring it up to the boil. Just keep going here until it boils. I am looking forward to seeing all the other recipes. I believe some involve Pomona pectin, which I think means you can get away with less sugar, because a lot of people don't like a lot of sugar in their jams too. So I'm excited for this collaboration. I think it's going to be a big hit. Okay, it's starting to come up. Like I said, depending on the liquid content of your melon, it's either going to be more than an hour on the button, or possibly a little less. Also, I omitted, because it was optional, pink peppercorns crushed. I just didn't want a pepper taste. I wasn't looking for that flavor profile, so I omitted peppercorns. You most certainly can do that. It is not, that is an option. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to come back up again. And like I said, we're talking about an hour here. And I can tell by the amount of liquid, it might actually even be a little bit more. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to continue to stir through the hour. Okay, that's a nice boil. And I'm going to just bring it down a little so it's just a simmer. And let me get my thermometer. Besides the gel test with the dish, you can also use a thermometer, having it reach 220. Let me see, I want to give you the exact number. Temperature test. Once the preserves is at a rolling boil, start monitoring the temperature. Gel is achieved once it reads 220 Fahrenheit. That's my violet. So 220 Fahrenheit, 104 Celsius. At 1,000 feet or 8 degrees Fahrenheit above the boiling point for your elevation. So just so you know that too. Alrighty, we'll let this continue and we'll come back. Okay, there's about 5 minutes left. So before that 5 minutes is up, I want to do a quick test with my dish that has been in the freezer. Oh, you can see the steam coming off of it. I'm gonna put my finger through this. Ha ha ha, hot. Folks, that's staying decently separated. So I'm actually just gonna let it go. It's 5 minutes that's left, and we'll come back and get this jarred up. Okay, folks, we're ready to rock and roll. Modern canning guidelines have updated to where if you're going to be processing for 15 minutes or more, just keeping your jars and lids in hot water so that they're at the correct temperature to accept the hot filling is okay. You don't have to put them in a pot of simmering water if it's 15 minutes or more, which is where I'm at. But I still fill my sink with super hot water, and I fill my tea kettle with hot water, get it almost to boiling, and dump that into the sink as well. And not boiling, because you can't boil the lids, it messes up the sealant. I just get hot water, about a minute in the mic, and I stick them in there just to loosen the rubber and to keep them warm. It goes without saying, clean, 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 everything clean. Clean hands, clean counter, clean utensils, clean sink, clean jars. Even though you wash them before you put them away, wash them again. Alrighty, let's get going here. And these are the smaller jars that I like using. And they are steaming. And it's a 1/4 inch headspace. It is so pretty. This is my Yorkie cup, because I have Yorkie. Her name is Violet. And I did have a Yorkie named Zuzu. They're named after It's a Wonderful Life. Zuzu was the little daughter, and Violet was that friendly gal. 1/4 inch. It's showing. I'm gonna just give it a little hair. And of course I'm using my debubbler, and you get all the bubbles out. And you want to use plastic or wood like a chopstick, not metal. Also, make sure you check your jars always before getting ready to can for any chips. Beautiful. Now we use our Mr. Magneto. We'll put him here. That's 2 of them. Oops. See that? Even I mess up sometimes. I'm 2 steps ahead. Here's my wet. Nice and wet. Once around the block and on the sides. Once around the block and on the sides. And now one color. 2 color. I'm going to be honest, I like to use my jaw grabber. I don't particularly like getting burned. Fingertip tight. You're not wrenching it. Oop, come on. There we go. curious to see what this is going to give me, because it's supposed to give you 5 half pints. So we shall see. We shall see. Oh, into the sink you go now. Okay. And I'm going to do the other baby. Just gonna move you a little bit closer. I love this ladle. My daughter got it for me. My daughter and son-in-law. Because it has the little latch on the side, so it can latch on to the pot. Okay. Remember, once around the block, in the middle, once around the block, you're getting all the air bubbles, which also will... Okay, I'm actually going to use this to scoop a little bit from here into here. Okay. And also, these are markers too on the jar, so you'll know 1 inch, ½ inch headspace, 1/4 inch. Looks good. Looks good. Today, for whatever reason, I don't want to do a wipe. Okay, ooh, that is hot. Nice and clean. Okay. Okay. These little jars are so cute. I love them. Fingertip tight. Let's see if we could. I just want you to be able to see. Fingertip tight. That's it. You just don't, you don't want to do it so tight that just enough for it to close. Let's get these babies in. I do not think that comes out to 3 pints so far. But I don't think I got that many the last time I made it either. So sometimes ball is on and sometimes it's not. I'm going to do the big one first because I may have come to the end here. Oh, good job, Paula. Yeah. All right. Oh, I might get that little one. We shall see. That is 1/4. Let's move you and see what we could do with you. Okay. Let's see. I think so. I think I got it, guys. Yes, yes. Yes, indeed. There's just a smidgen left. Okay. That might be a little bit too much. I'm just going to take a little dash out. Okay. There we go. Give it a little run. Measure. Perfection. Perfection. Let's pump it up. Let's turn that around. Give it. They're watching the Yankees. And so, when the yelling starts, I know something's not right. And that was my dryer. Okay. Especially with sticky things, you want to feel that squeak when you're dealing with sugared items, syrups, and whatnot. Because you want a good connection with your lid and jar. Fingertip. Fingertip. I'll pop these in. They are going to process for 15 minutes. I have, and I'm going to show you the lid. My steam canner has a lid. My go zone is green. When it hits the green, I know to start timing. So we're going to do that. And when we're finished, I'll come back. Alrighty friends, we are all finished, all wrapped up. A quick correction. If you're processing for 10 minutes or less, then canning guidelines say to sterilize the jars. I did 20, so no issue. And look at that pretty caramel-like color. And I did have just a teeny bit of it left. And it's just so pretty. And another way to do it, baguette, cream cheese, Cantaloupe Jam. I promise you, you won't be disappointed with this recipe. It is really good, friends. That it's not cloyingly sweet. It has just a nice flavor of freshness, and it complements the cheese so well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new, I hope you will subscribe. I do lots of things here, from crafting to gardening. I have every Wednesday a short video, flavor of the day, which will be either a quick gardening idea or a kitchen tip. So I again appreciate you. I thank you for coming. Check out the description box. You will not be disappointed. Until next time, my dear friends, go create something wonderful. Bye.